causes a wide range of symptoms, which might resemble those of other respiratory illnesses. Plus, it takes about 14 days before the symptoms start showing, so it would be very hard to know if you had it.
Because I heard garlic can prevent it.
Garlic is good for you, but whether it prevents the disease or not hasn't been confirmed yet.
Bro, hey, must be monula prevent from having the disease, okay? But with that said, the mask should be worn by infected people so it can cover their coughs and sneezes. It can also be worn by people taking care of and coming in close proximity with someone who's infected.
We are safe in the Gambia because they gonna heat can kill the virus. They can be more the fatanga.
Sister, uyuma, ken hamangun ndax tangay bi dina rey virus bi wala dedet. Right now it's too early to tell if the heat kills it because studies are just on the way. Lidar lañ aar suñ bopa rek.
To keep the body in good health is a duty, and as Gambians, we know a healthy life is important to us as a country. Let us keep it that way. Please share this message with your friends and loved ones. May God continue to bless us.
Do not be scared. Just take care.
This message was brought to you by Spike Media and XT Expression.
alhamdulillah mbokk yi li nga xam ne moom mooy Covid-19 bi mi ngi lëmbe àdduna si yëpp mu am solo pour ñëpp xam ne lu am la am na ba tax na la ñuy wax naka jekk mooy bul loru waaye bul nangoo lore li nga bëggal sa bopp ci mucc na nga ko bëggal sa morom ci mucc bu ko defee ñun ñëpp ñu ànd mucc mbir la moo xam ne nag lañ ci wax dëgg-dëgg mooy jëfe ndigal yi bàyyi tere yi mi ngi war a jógee ko ci ñi nga xam ne seen xam-xam màcc na ci wàllu faj moom mooy docteur yi nee nañu di raxasu waxtu bu nekk nee nañu moytu mbooloo yi daje dañ koy joxante foofa gis nga doomu jàngoro bi nekkul luy dox nit ñee koy toxal mu jógee ci nit dem ci nit kon loolu moo tax ñuy wax ne nañu moytu ndaje bi ak ndaje bu mu mënti doon dañuy wax ne daw bëri ci kat ci njàmbaar la bokk kon nañu góorgóorlu nañuy raxas suñuy loxo nañuy moytu daje yi ngir yàlla ak yonent ba képp koo xam ne nag gis nga sa bopp lu mel ni socc wala saqat ak yu ni mel mën ngaa woo 1025 nombre boobu moom ngay woo ñu wax la loo xam ne daan aju na ci li lay dimbale incha allah rabbi yàlla nañ mucc de asalaamaaleykum wa rahmatulah.
With the outbreak of this coronavirus, the whole world is now alarmed. Everybody is unsettled. Everybody is in the panicking mood. But you know, the most important thing for everybody is not to combine panic with the coronavirus. These are two issues. We already have the coronavirus, so if people have to combine that with panicking, then the situation is not going to. That's not a good way of responding to this virus. So, and in that case, then the most important thing is for you to make sure you implement some of these preventive measures. So, washing your hand, keeping distance. If you are coughing, you cough into your bent elbow. If you are coughing, we have your face masks. Anybody that is coughing, at least we keep a distance of 1 meter or 2 meters from that person. And also, we are also advised to avoid, big crowds. That's why, the president has made this pronouncement that lumos and big gatherings are prohibited. And it's very, very important that we all comply. Let's listen to our health experts. Yeah. So I think, if you do that, that will be a positive response to this coronavirus. Contain COVID-19. We are all into this, and together we can eradicate this coronavirus from the source of the Gambia and from the rest of the world. Thank you.
The Gambia has begun conduct of mass testing for the COVID-19 as more cases are being confirmed. Business in Ghana is gradually getting back to usual operations as government eases COVID-19 restrictions. Egyptian singers are now using platforms to entertain their fans amidst the COVID-19 lockdown. This and more coming on The World today. Hello, this is Africa TV. You are watching the World Today News Bulletin. I am Amadou Kante. Many thanks for joining us, and now the news in detail. The first round of mass collection of blood samples to ascertain possible number of cases of coronavirus across the country was conducted in Bakau by the Ministry of Health. The activities followed by the announcement of 5 new cases of the COVID-19, from which traces of local transfer of the virus was also announced. About 2 months since the confirmation of the first case of the virus in the Gambia, cases have mainly been imported rather than planted. Juldenjai Sware has more details in this report.
The Ministry of Health has begun a mass sample collection for a nationwide testing for the coronavirus as the state of public emergency ends in about 10 days. The exercise is expected to advise government and stakeholders in the fight against the global pandemic on whether the lockdown should be amended or left the way it is. The 41st National Situation Report since confirmation of first case of the coronavirus in the Gambia featured 5 new cases with traces of local transmission of the virus. This brought the total number of cases in the Gambia to 17, with 7 active cases under treatment.
So 5 new positive cases of COVID-19 have been reported. The highest number of cases confirmed in a single day. Of these, 1 case was reported from Central River region, and this is the first confirmed case from that region. While 1 is epidemiologically linked to the 12th case, 3 were close contacts of the 11th case.
Speaking to the Good Morning Africa program, President of the Fishermen Association in Bakau, Aliou Sen, said, aside from adhering to the WHO precautionary measures, they have also taken the initiative to send back any boat that is not booked for landing at their terminal.
Foka pare fanantol mimbe badala jang ka jibele ko komen kulungo mi ya lonko amantara jang mbuka song ay sembe jang mi nga lonko nyin kulungo masute jan rek nga traile ayta abota daming ntol mimmi ya lonko ntolle be sirin jang ne nube jang mengolem ni be sirin jan sasa e tara jang wol fanan ka min fo en ka fo ko nal bota jang altina jang kotek.
Mr. Sen suggested that the ongoing mass testing initiative will become more effective if health workers could extend the campaign to reach out to individuals' households. The initial mass sample collection exercise on Sunday generated a massive turnout among the communities of Bakau, with the number of confirmed cases of coronavirus in the Gambia approaching 20. The Ministry of Health is expected to move on with the activity to other communities across the country. Currently, it is only the Medical Research Council that is responsible for testing of coronavirus cases in the Gambia, and it takes about 24 hours for announcement of results. For iAfrica News, I am Juldenjai Sware.
And from the report on the situation of the coronavirus in the Gambia, as we expect the update from the ministry today, we would move on to report on another, of course, development on related activities of COVID-19, because in the fight against the coronavirus intensifies in the, of course, in the Gambia, the National Youth Council has reached out to 841 households in Bakau with them to mobilize mass response to the ongoing voluntary testing for the coronavirus. The Ministry of Health began a mass sample collection exercise of a positive case of COVID-19 with pattern of local transmission of the virus in the locality. Now, joining me live is the Executive Secretary of the National Youth Council from his office in Kanifing, Lamin Dabo. Well, Mr. Dabo, thank you very much for joining us, of course, on the line. Now, what has been the task at hand for the National Youth Council?
All right, thank you very much. Thanks for having me here. It has been quite a very difficult period for all of us, for the whole country, since the announcement of the COVID-19 confirmed cases in the Gambia. National Youth Council is a public agency, and we work with several youth organizations. And of course, we are also a member of the Risk Communication and Community Engagement Subcommittee of the Ministry of Health COVID-19 Task Force. And we work under the Risk Communication Subcommittee. And when the announcement was made for a mass testing, we were engaged, as usual, by Ministry of Health to conduct house-to-house sensitization in Bakau, as we have done in Bundung and in Faratu Busumbala and Faratu Bojankunda.
All right. Now, what has been the key message from your volunteers?
All right. The message of the volunteers have been three key messages. First is to remind people they meet in the various households on the preventive measures. That is the recommended preventive measures as advised by WHO and Ministry of Health, which include no handshake, reduce, maintaining social distancing, and also ensuring that people wash their hands regularly and that they avoid crowded places and they sneeze or cough in their arms or in tissue papers. But beyond that message, we also communicate to people the need for them to stop stigma and discrimination, because from the communities and the household we visited, we have seen fear in people. And one of the reasons for this fear is the fact that they are afraid of being stigmatized, being pointed at in their communities. So that becomes our second message. Our third message is to call on the community, the residents, to actually come and join the free and voluntary testing that is being organized by Ministry of Health. This has been the three key information we are sharing.
All right. Now, based on the messages you have been giving out, are there evidences that communities in the different wards of Bakau have been listening to your advocacy?
I would say definitely. The community, the residents of Bakau have been listening, and I think I must be very, very cooperative. Despite some challenges in the field, we have seen over 300 people coming out voluntarily. This is in a non-coercive manner, coming and volunteer themselves to say, I want me and my family members to be tested, to participate in this testing for our samples to be collected. And I think this is something very important, because this is first of its kind, conduct such a mass collection. And I think it will send a great signal to all those who are afraid, or they are ignorant, or they are in denial, that we have people in the communities who believe the existence of this virus, and they are willing to cooperate with government, to cooperate with the health officials to put an end to this virus in the Gambia.
All right, Mr. Dabo, just lastly, for how long would the NYC continue to be on the ground?
All right, I've been in Banjul, in Bakau, Old Bakau ward for 2 days, which was day before last and yesterday, and we had covered all the 7 sub-wards. Today and tomorrow we'll be in the new Bakau New Town ward, and we are going to cover about 7 sub-wards there today and tomorrow. And from there, then we will continue to work with Ministry of Health, because our house-to-house engagement are demand-driven. However, from our yesterday feedback, we came to a conclusion that instead of waiting on Ministry of Health, we will work with them to identify priority communities or communities of high risk, so that we can conduct house-to-house before even they intend to plan to go there for mass testing.
All right. Executive Director with National Youth Council, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. It was the Executive Director of the National Youth Council. They are speaking to us live from his office in Canifing. And from that, next we head to Ghana, where business is slowly returning to normal operations in the country as the government eases the COVID-19 lockdown measures. There has not been much difference in terms of business despite easing of restrictions, according to some business owners. Authorities say it will take about 3 years before the countries could recover from the impact of COVID-19. Let's have more details of that in this report.
Business activities are gradually picking up in the commercial hub of Accra after the government eased the COVID-19 lockdown. Edward Befi imports fabrics from China and Nigeria. He says although he can now open his shop after shutting it for weeks due to the pandemic, business is slow.
These fabrics are from the old stock we imported in December, so people are not interested in buying. We are unable to import new ones because of the border closure and flight restrictions.
Many businesses were hit hard when the government locked down parts of the country to contain the spread of the coronavirus.
People staying at home won't help anything. It won't help the situation. It's going to change to hunger virus. So with people working, maintaining the social distance, everybody is on face mask, following the directives, I think it's okay.
While the government has relaxed the lockdown, wearing face masks is now compulsory. But people are finding it difficult to practice physical distancing.
Despite easing the lockdown restrictions, Ghana's revenue generation continued to decline due to a shortfall in domestic taxes. The government says it will take 3 years for the economy to recover from the impact of the coronavirus pandemic.
The country's COVID-19 infections increased after the lockdown was eased, but the government says it's putting measures in place to contain the spread of the virus. But many people who have opened up their businesses after the lockdown still have fears of a further spread of the coronavirus. They want the government to strictly enforce social distancing at all public places.
And from that report in Ghana, we come back home and now report on press freedom, because on the 27th edition of the World Press Freedom Day, the Gambia Press Union paid tribute to journalism and journalists who have been in line of duty. In a statement on Sunday, the union said this year's commemoration is coming at a time the world is grappling with the coronavirus pandemic, poses enormous challenges to the freedom and development of the media. Globally, dozens of journalists have already been killed in pursuit of stories by the virus, beside those who have been killed in the first quarter of 2020. On the theme for this year's commemoration, Journalism Without Fear or Favor, the Gambia Press Union called on journalists to honor their social contract with people, more so in these trying times. The GPU renewed call on the government through the Ministry of Health to provide support that is critically needed to promote effective reporting and protect journalists from COVID-19. The union noted that the reporters are frontline workers who are putting their lives at risk in order to keep the public informed. And from that development from the Gambia Press Union, we will now take a break and come back shortly with the remaining of the stories. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
COVID-19. Leave no one behind. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that cause illness, ranging from the common cold to more severe lung diseases. COVID-19 is the recently discovered caused by coronavirus. As we fight this pandemic, we must be kind by supporting others. COVID-19 is not specific to any sex, gender, race, nationality, or skin color. So, let us not stigmatize or discriminate against anyone or certain groups. Fear of exclusion and discrimination may result in those who may have contracted COVID-19, including migrants, to hide their symptoms rather than treatment. This puts everyone at risk of getting sick. In many contexts, people who migrate to work, study, or join their families are key players in nation building, including combating COVID-19. Let us all play our role in challenging misinformation and discrimination against migrants. Be considerate of others' needs and do what you can to help. Encourage others to wash their hands frequently. Avoid touching their face, mouth, and nose. Practice proper cough etiquette. Avoid public places. Practice social distancing and stay at home if they feel unwell. The Gambia is called the Smiling Coast because its people are kind. Let's show that kindness in fighting COVID-19, our common enemy. Let's fight it together. For more information, or if you experience any symptoms, dial 1025.
Welcome back. You're watching All Today News Bulletin, and now to the rest of the stories. Vision Development Foundation, one of the leading philanthropies organization, on Saturday gave out over, of course, 1,000 bags of sugar and rice to local authorities for onward distribution to vulnerable communities across the country. The support is coming as part of the foundation's annual Ramadan gift for the less privileged, which also goes for to serve as a relief package for the impact of COVID-19. Details of that in this report by Aissatou Tamba.
Vision Development Foundation, a non-government organization, extended food assistance to the poor and needy through regional authorities across the country. The move, which is part of the foundation's annual Ramadan support, will go further to implement the ongoing effort to minimize the impact of the COVID-19. At a handing ceremony, the organization gave out 100,000 bags of 10 kilograms of sugar and 30,000 bags of 25 kilograms of rice. Public Relations Officer of Vision Development Foundation, Sekou Fadera, said the move was meant to support one another.
Vision Development Foundation is an NGO that is set up by Mr. Momodu Trodabo with the aims of helping the poor and needy and complementing the good efforts of government in national development. Today, exactly as partners in development, we believe in that philanthropic gesture can go down well to the grassroots when we engage our partners and stakeholders like you, the divisional governors, and some others.
Lamin Fatajo, chairman of the foundation, highlighted the new approach they have taken to extend support to all those in need during this period of coronavirus.
But usually during the Ramadan, Vision Development Foundation will do daily iftar where they will give food to the needy. But based on this pandemic situation, we cannot do it as usual. So it is important that we reach the needy people using the natural structures that we have, which are political in a sense, where we have the regions and their leaders. We also which is very paramount during this period.
Mayor of Kanifing Municipal Council, Talib Ahmed Bensouda, whose council was among those tasked to forward the gifts to households in the area, commented the Vision Development Foundation for the gesture.
We can beat this, but we can only beat it together. And the stand-up citizens like Moturo Dabo and noble foundations like Vision Development have come to actually add to that effort. Without further ado, I'd like to thank you again on behalf of the municipality, on behalf of all our councillors, and to ensure, to confirm to you and to assure you that these bags of rice will make it to the most needy Gambians of KM.
This is one in a series of support from the private sector going through the management of local government authorities at a time when the communities are held in a partial lockdown. Reporters, I am Aissatou Tamba.
And from that report there by Aissatou Tamba, next we head to Uganda because Ugandans in some part of the capital Kampala are struggling to adhere to the coronavirus precautionary measures advised by health officials, but others are sounding a bit cautious. Some members of the committee are taking the lead to raise the level of public awareness to on safety measures against the deadly disease. Local organizations are also imposing mandatory hand washing by providing hand washing containers at strategic locations. Here is more details of that in this report.
Kamocha, a densely packed slum in Uganda's capital of Kampala. It is home to over 15,000 people, including Zauja Namukumbi. Amid the COVID-19 crisis, Zauja says she is aware of the advice on how to avoid contracting the coronavirus.
We have been told to wash our hands, give ourselves some distance, 4 meters from person to avoid the disease.
But there is little she can do about maintaining social distancing advice. The small spaces shared here, Zauja cannot avoid the close contacts.
I live in a small room. There is no way I can make the 4 meters they have told us. We are always near each other.
And she is not alone. With no work now, many people are instead gathering together in this tightly packed community. Social distancing here may be difficult to achieve, but there are other ways the community is teaming up to raise awareness about the crisis. The physical environment of the slum makes for easy transmission of the disease, and this slum organization Ghetto Lab is enforcing mandatory hand washing. They say it is easy to get people on the move.
They are moving like 5, 9 members, don't know that one, don't know this one. So it is a big problem, but what we have to do, we have to keep on sensitizing so that we can fight against this COVID-19.
Another group is making non-contact hand washing containers. They hope to put them at various points in this area.
If everyone can wash their hands, if everyone can have the masks, if we can have stations with hand wash, if we can provide the food, then we can be safe in the ghetto.
Uganda has realized some progress in the fight against the coronavirus. The community here is not about to throw caution to the wind.
And from the report in Kampala, Uganda, finally we head to North Africa, in Egypt to be precise, where musicians in Egypt are using online concerts to entertain their fellow countrymen during the COVID-19 lockdown, but also to generate some income for themselves. 2 young upcoming artists performed their first live concert to entertain fans and loved ones. With the suspension of public gatherings to curb the spread of the COVID-19, this can be one way to lift people's spirits during the lockdown, according to the young artists. Here is more details of that report.
The countdown to the show has started. 2 young singers are about to present their first live concert. Music producer Hani Mahrous is giving them his last advice before they go live.
We started working on this online concerts just a few days lockdown. I started with my company star, Mustafa Hagag. It was a very successful beginning. This time, I thought about presenting new talent. I want to use this lockdown to come up with new content that can lift people's spirits.
As a young child, Saif's first single had a national success. It paved his artistic career. If it weren't for COVID-19, this might have been a live show attended by thousands.
People need entertainment to keep themselves busy. This is the second online concert we are presenting. For me, it's also entertaining. I've been staying at home, and this is the second time I'm performing this way. I am relieved that there's something that can keep me busy.
For Taha, this is his first singing experience ever.
I feel great. I feel like it's an honor to my family and friends. I've never performed at a concert before, so I'm excited. It's great that we can present our songs to people while keeping them safe during the coronavirus pandemic.
These online concerts present opportunities as well as challenges for upcoming artists.
People now have more time to listen, evaluate, and give us feedback, whether good or bad. That helps me a lot, because fans play a big role in a musician's success.
With common breaches to copyrights, singers in Egypt rely mainly on concerts for income. Performing online might bring some income from advertisements, but it will never compare to the energy they get surrounded by live audience.
And with that entertainment report in Egypt, we finally bring this news bulletin to an end. But for more details on this and other stories, you can also look in our website on iafrica.tv. Many thanks for the pleasure of your company. Stay safe. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.
Have your say.
Fellow Gambians, my government has approved a $500 million emergency fund, which the Ministries of Health and Finance will work on for disbursement and use to fight COVID-19 menace.
xaalis bi tege yomb na waaye xam lu jafe mooy séddale bi ni ñu ko séddalee ak ndax dinañ ko jox ñu ko yeeyoo wala duñ leen ko jox loolu moo jara laajte.
cause loo xam ne la nit yee tax ñu joxe ko te nit ñi ñoo leen fa teg te xaalis nit yi la comme xaalisi population bi la wax dëgg yàlla li gënoon mooy ku nekk gis sa boppa
man su ma sañoon daal ñu séddoo ko nu mu waroo buñ si def xaaj loo ñii diw nañ ko si ku nekk loo war a am nga am ko.
askan bi seen dem ak dikk bu ñu wàññee mu jël ko def ko si loolu noonu participer ko si loolu noonu ba nga xam ne danañ mën a ànd ak moom si wàññi suñu dem ak suñu dikk.
génne leen xaalis bi nañ ko génnee ñu def ko ñu defar suñu réew mi defar réew nag da nga koy commencé njàng mu baax nit ñi di faju feebar di faju tan feebar di faju dafa xemul kombo loolu affaire bi du kombo rek nañ génne ci àll bi yëpp ñu defar fa hôpital li war man mi nekk kombo moo war ka nekk fototo moo war ka nekk Pokaw Njóogu moo war ko nekk feneen.
waaye nit doo ko mën a wax mu teg këram joxuloo ko dara lu mu lekk soo ñun balaa corona dañu rey xiif moo ñoo rey.
nguur bi su nekkee ne 500 millions Gambie ñaata population bi ñun ñaata lañ.
2 point or 1 point.
ok 2 point boobu noonu su nekkee dañ ko war a séddale si nit ñi ku nekk ñaata la war a am.
million su bëri soosu noonu nañ ko xaaj jox xel benn xaaf ñu téyegum ñu jël beneen xaaf bi yóbbu ko ci communauté bi ñu téyegum.
silang ni nga arda ko bulu courant lu sorota ani borolu sayin pentanglu panande nyante hakilo falol fanan kanne
ya foko nga ta si suo kono man sala million be maburu nga bulo kono man sana la kuol bebe kuo be kala jeto hana nyil min fankana fontolian ko nga ta si suo kono fotolo man tara man sa do kuol nin karo fate man tara kejo
xaalis boobu dañ ko war a xaaj ñu jël xaaj bi dugal ko si wéru yaram bi ñaareel xaaj bi dugal ko si askan bi.
Have your say.